Of all the animated superhero series released in the last 2 decades, one stands out with a first season that's easily among the best: Young Justice. Today I'm revisiting Season 1 of this phenomenal show, a season that still holds up as peak superhero animation. A few weeks ago, I looked back at the Batman Season 1, and before diving into its second season, I thought it'd be the perfect time to re-explore one of my most beloved series. Young Justice Season 1 is something truly special. Every episode delivers at such a high level, it's impossible not to be impressed. And just like with the Batman retrospective, this video focuses only on Season 1. If it does well, though, it's definitely worth diving into each season individually, especially since they all differ in tone, story, and quality. But Season 1, it started things off with a bang. Quick question for you all before diving in. What are your thoughts on Young Justice Season 1? Or even the series as a whole? I love reading your comments, so share them below. And while you're at it, dropping a like helps out a ton. If Young Justice is the team, then the YouTube algorithm is Vandal Savage and his crew constantly outmaneuvering us. And hey, if you're enjoying this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and join the squad. All right, let's get into it. The first thing that sets this show apart is the animation. This might sound simple, but it really makes a difference. Before recent series like X-Men '97 or Invincible, animation in Western superhero shows wasn't exactly groundbreaking. But Young Justice came out swinging. The animation was fluid, high quality, and full of energy, especially for something airing on Cartoon Network. It looked and felt like a show with a big budget, and the dedication from the animators shines through in every fight scene and every character movement. The fight choreography, in particular, is some of the best I've seen in superhero animation. Every character moves in their own unique way, reflecting their fighting style. Robin with his agile flips and gadgets, Aqualad with powerful, disciplined water-based attacks. And it never shies away from intensity. For a show aimed at kids, it packs a punch. Literally. Every hit has weight. Characters don't just get knocked out in one blow, they take beatings, and you can feel the toll of each fight. There's a moment where Miss Martian suspends Bane mid-airs and Superboy finishes the fight with a brutal slam. And it genuinely feels like Bane is done. That kind of impact isn't common in shows like this. Speaking of Aqualad, his water constructs during combat are a visual treat. And honestly, he deserves way more love across the DC universe. I'd love to see him in Injustice 3 or the DCU in full force. Which brings me to the characters. Let's start with Robin. This version of Dick Grayson is easily one of my favorites in any medium. He begins the series with that classic, "I'm Batman's sidekick, I'm better than everyone" energy. But as the season progresses, he realizes that trying to be Batman isn't what he truly wants. There's a powerful moment when he says, "I don't want to be the Batman anymore." Recognizing that he doesn't share Batman's willingness to sacrifice everything for the mission. His time with the team, away from the shadow of the dynamic duo, lets him find his own identity. I especially love that they lean into his hacker side, giving him a bit of a Tim Drake vibe. And the episode at Haley's Circus, that scene where Mr. Haley recognizes him even in disguise. It's genuinely emotional. In Batman, the animated series, you never see him return to the circus, but Young Justice gives you that cathartic moment. Another great detail is how the show subverts expectations with leadership. You expect Robin to lead, and so does he. He has the most experience despite being the youngest. But he realizes early on that leadership isn't about experience alone, and Aqualad, with his calm authority and maturity, becomes the natural leader. Aqualad tells Robin he'll hold the burden until Robin is ready. And it's such a good arc for both characters. Aqualad, from the start, feels like a fully formed hero. His arc centers more on choosing between his life in Atlantis and his commitment to the team. He chooses the team and continues to grow in that role. He's a standout from the jump. Kid Flash, Wally, adds another layer. He starts off as the jokester, a kind of Beast Boy role. Cringy at times, especially with his early womanizer moments, but you can tell he means well. The episode Cold-Hearted is one of the best in the season. It's Wally's birthday, and instead of getting to fight alongside the Justice League like the others, he's given a solo mission, delivering a heart across the country to save a little girl. It's a humbling mission that teaches him heroism isn't always about action. It's about saving lives in any way you can. It's a brilliant character-defining moment. Then there's Superboy. His journey is all about coming to terms with not being Superman. He wants Superman's approval, but also struggles with the revelation that his human DNA comes from Lex Luthor. That twist, having two fathers in Superman and Lex, is disturbing but adds so much depth. His use of Lex's patches to unlock his full powers also shows his inner conflict. He wants to be more than what he is, but at a cost. Superman, on the other hand, feels off in this show. He's distant, reluctant to accept Superboy, and honestly comes across as a bit of a jerk. By the end of the season, there's hope for a better relationship, but it takes time. Miss Martian is another standout. She's a character I didn't think much about before this show, but here she's such a warm, positive presence. Her arc is about self-acceptance, learning to love her true form as a white Martian, even though it's considered monstrous by human standards. The scene where she reveals her form to the team is powerful. And I love that Aqualad doesn't flinch, since he's also not human. It's a subtle but beautiful moment. Artemis brings a different angle. Unlike the others, her mentor isn't a hero. It's Sportsmaster, a villain. She joins the team under suspicion, especially since she replaces Red Arrow, who's close to the others. They resent her at first, and her connection to her villainous father makes her a prime suspect when rumors of a mole start to spread. Her arc is all about proving herself and breaking from her family's dark legacy. And Red Arrow? His story runs parallel, distancing himself from the team and his mentor to prove he can stand on his own and be Justice League material. His suspicion of a mole intertwines with Artemis' story perfectly. There's so much more to cover, but that's where I'll leave it for now. Young Justice Season 1 isn't just a strong start. It's a masterclass in character-driven storytelling, animation, and emotional depth. If you haven't watched it in a while, now's the perfect time to revisit it.